Put down those cell phones while driving, or you could face some heavy fines.
This week marks the 80th anniversary of D-Day, and special events are being planned from East Alabama all the way to the beaches of France.
Summertime weather in East Alabama. We will break down the forecast for this first full week of June coming up. And in sports, 3 inductees with Calhoun County ties going into the Cherokee County Sports Hall of Fame. EAN Local News begins now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Mike Stedham.
And I'm Katie Edwards.
It's been illegal for the past year for drivers in Alabama to be distracted by their cell phones and other mobile devices while behind the wheel. However, law enforcement officials were ordered to give motorists a grace period for that year, meaning they could only issue warnings and not collect any fines. That indulgence will end June 15th, that's a week from Saturday, and the Calhoun Journal reports that holding a phone while driving in Alabama could lead to some fines. Using hands-free Bluetooth or other voice-activated devices is still legal, but drivers who are pulled over for another reason could face additional charges if they're holding a phone, writing, sending, reading text files, or using their phones for navigation. State troopers say that motorists who were seen crossing in and out of traffic lanes without using a turn signal, swerving, or otherwise operating a vehicle in an impaired manner while physically holding a wireless telecommunication device could be issued a citation. Each violation can be considered a separate offense, and the driver can be found guilty of a Class C misdemeanor. The fine for a first offense is no more than $50, but the second offense within 24 months could be up to $100, and more offenses could cost up to $150 each. There are a few exceptions, such as using a phone to contact emergency services while operating a vehicle, using a phone while pulled over on the shoulder, and using a phone for navigation without manually inputting anything.
If you're thirsty for some lemonade and want to help some good causes, 4-year-old Jace Curry would love to have you as a customer. Jace became a local social media star a couple of weeks ago when his lemonade stand was featured by Anniston police officers who stopped by for some refreshment. They found out that the young entrepreneur was earning money for a new slip and slide and decided to give him a boost. Soon after that, Jace was given the toy he wanted, and he turned the stand into a fundraiser for other good causes. His grandmother, Tasha Curry, known to her family as Gigi, says Jace's love of lemonade came from a recent visit to a local restaurant.
Next thing I know, his mom called me a couple of days later and was like, Jace wants to make a lemonade stand and sell lemonade. And I was like, okay, we'll make it happen. And she did. She made it happen for him. So we're very proud of him. He sets up on 18th and Cooper most of the time, but it looks like his lemonade stand is growing. So this is our first public event, big event. So we're proud of it.
This past weekend, Jace and his stand were set up at Small Town Sunday in Talladega. Jace's mother, Jada Curry, says Gigi played a major role in the success of the stand by making the product for him to sell.
He went to his Gigi house and said he wanted her to make him some lemonade. So then he saw a little kid on YouTube with his lemonade stand that his parents bought him, and he said, told to his mom that he wanted to make a lemonade stand. So I went to Home Depot and this was the outcome. So here we are selling lemonade.
Once her son had achieved his goal of getting a slip and slide, Curry says the family started looking for other ways to help the community.
So right now we're working on getting a back to school summer fun day for all the kids in the city of Anniston and the surrounding areas. Then we have the St. Jude Lemonade Stand Challenge coming up really soon. So that's what we have working on.
Bye-bye, thanks for coming.
When we come back, East Alabama honors the soldiers who fought and died on the beaches of Normandy, France, 8 decades ago.
Spring into freshness at WM. Celebrate the season with our bountiful selection of farm fresh produce. From juicy berries to crisp greens, taste the flavors of spring at WM. Visit us today and let the freshness bloom in every bite. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
The Berman Museum of World History will have a special program at 11 o'clock Thursday morning to honor the American, British, and Canadian soldiers who took part in Operation Overlord, the invasion that marked the beginning of the end of World War II. This year marks the 80th anniversary of D-Day, which began on the morning of June 6, 1944. The museum's special memorial program will feature a guest speaker, Dr. Robert Zemet, a former Naval Academy professor and currently a Jacksonville State University professor, who's going to talk about George Marshall's impact on D-Day. Amy Gray, the education director of the museum, says the ceremony is dedicated to the soldiers who took part in that invasion.
We'll be recognizing if we have any World War II vets. We've invited various nursing homes from the area to come, but we want to invite all of our servicemen and women. So we'll be recognizing current servicemen and women as well as veterans, and then that day will also be. You'll be able to see the other things that we have on display here that go with D-Day.
Gray says the ceremony is an important part of the Berman Museum's mission to teach the public about military history.
People ask us, well, why commemorate it? And we want to make sure that their legacies are remembered. These men who gave their lives on that day, and it hits close to home because you'd be surprised at how many people we've spoken to that say, my uncle, my grandfather, my great uncle, those kind of things that were there, that died, that were a paratrooper, for example. Yeah. And so we want to make sure that that legacy continues. And it also highlights the importance of recognizing and honoring our military today.
Veterans and active duty military personnel who present their military IDs will receive free admission to the Berman Museum.
Meanwhile, the Marching Southerners Band of Jack State is on its way to the actual site of the D-Day invasion in Normandy, France. The band has been invited to perform on Thursday at a ceremony marking the D-Day anniversary at the Normandy American Cemetery near the beaches where the invasion occurred in 1944. The Southerners have made several major trips over the years to play at international events, such as the Diamond Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II.
When we return, bikers raise several hundreds of dollars for some local Girl Scouts.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
The Outsiders of Grace Motorcycle Club held a ride this past weekend to help support Girl Scout Troop 20136 of Oxford. That event raised $450 for the troop's planned summer trip. Naomi Gray, a member of the troop, says the group is grateful for their assistance.
Being a part of Girl Scouts means a lot to me, and I can probably vouch for me and all my other Girl Scout sisters. It's more of a passion. When you get into the depths of it, it's more than just being a Girl Scout. It's your actions, who you are as a person, and who you end up being at the end of your however many years until you graduate high school. This ride is supposed to pay for our New York trip. We're going this summer. We're going to be seeing a lot of the big landmarks there. I'm so excited. And the reason that we're going to New York this year is because New York is one of the big headquarters of Girl Scouts, is where it's at on 5th Street. On 5th Street. And so we're doing that, and we can't wait to swap with all the girls our different little charms and things like that, and just see all the Girl Scouts there, hopefully.
For me, being a Girl Scout, it's meant like going on these big trips, learning new things, like having hand-on experiences, like things you can't do in school, and having life experience. It's a fun experience, and you meet new friends, make sisters, and have a good time while you're doing it.
State troopers say an Oxford man was killed Saturday morning in a two-car accident on Highway 77 in Etowah County. The Calhoun Journal reports that the accident took place around 7 Saturday morning. The victim's 2012 Toyota collided with a 2022 Ford being driven by a man from Eclectic. That second driver was taken to an area hospital for treatment. The cause of that accident is still under investigation.
So Katie, some mean-looking clouds out there today.
Well, there certainly are. And you know, we really enjoyed some really nice weather on Saturday. It was cool breeze. Then yesterday, summer arrived.
Yes, it did. Totally unpredictable.
Yes, the humidity seems to be back, and
yes,
we seem to have officially welcomed summer. But for more information on that, there's somebody that knows a lot more than we do about the weather, and that's Jon Holder. He joins us now in the EAN Weather Center. John?
Mike and Katie, we are indeed settling into our typical summertime weather pattern here in East Alabama. That means a lot of sunshine and some scattered afternoon storms. We'll break down the forecast for all of East Alabama next.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
On this Monday, plenty of sunshine and temperatures exactly where they should be for this time of year. 86 for the high today. That is exactly average. 64 for the low this morning, right at the average for this time of year. Record high temperature 98 degrees. The record low, believe it or not, at 43. The sun rising tomorrow morning bright and early at 5:33, and the sun not setting tonight until 10 minutes before 8. Here's weather on your street for a Monday night. On Walnut Street in downtown Gadsden, a chance of rain late tonight. You may see an evening shower out there, but for the most part, we're going to be looking at better rain chances into the overnight hours and certainly during the day tomorrow. 67 for the low overnight tonight. As we roll into tomorrow, scattered showers and storms. Very high percentage as far as coverage go. We think a lot of folks at some point in time will see at least a passing shower tomorrow on Fairway Heights and Anniston. It's going to be very warm, 87 for the high tomorrow with about a 70% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. As we look at the rest of the work week, typical June weather coming up on Magnolia Street in Lincoln and Talladega County. Expect showers every afternoon. Temperatures rising into the upper 80s for most of the week ahead. Here's the 7-day forecast for all of East Alabama. You'll see the highest rain chance is actually coming up tomorrow. This does not mean that it's going to be an all-day rain tomorrow. This just means that there's a better chance of everyone seeing some kind of shower activity at some point during the day tomorrow. About a 50-50 chance of a shower on Wednesday as we climb close to 90 degrees. Thursday, about a 40% chance of a shower. The high at 88. We're going to see a little bit of a front come through. I'm not going to call it a cold front, but a front coming through on Thursday and Thursday night that will set the stage for a beautiful June weekend coming up. We're looking at plenty of sunshine, lower humidity and dew point values, a couple of dry days on Friday and Saturday, no chance of rain, temperatures in the mid-80s. Look at that morning low on Saturday morning, getting down into the upper 50s again. That will be very nice. And then we're right back to typical June weather coming up for the back half of the weekend and the early part of next week. We had a lot of rain yesterday morning, and we had a lot of rain in the overnight hours yesterday. So we had basically about a quarter to 3/4 of an inch of rain. That was the range here across East Alabama. The biggest swath of that 3/4 of an inch rainfall was in the southern part of Calhoun County, stretching over into the southern part of Cleveland County. Just about everyone in our viewing area seeing some rainfall yesterday and last night across East Alabama. I will be back here tomorrow morning bright and early at 6 a.m. We'll have your forecast for your Tuesday, breaking it down by day parts tomorrow. I'll be back here tomorrow evening for EAN Local News as we'll continue to break down the forecast for the work week ahead. And coming up next in sports, we're going to talk about Calhoun County connections to the Cherokee County Sports Hall of Fame. That's next.
We're able to connect faster than ever through technology. Maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, a place to use the gifts and talents God has given you, a place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Jon Holder in for Namath Pitts with EAN Sports on this Monday evening. The Cherokee County Sports Hall of Fame held their induction ceremony on Saturday night at the Gadsden State Community College Cherokee Arena and Center, and a number of inductees with ties to Calhoun County being inducted to the class of 2024. The class includes Joe Carpenter, great former basketball and track and field coach at Cedar Bluff High School, Jason Howard, an Ohatchee native who also, of course, had a great, outstanding career coaching football at Spring Garden High School. Tori Davis Grantham, a former Cherokee County High track and field and basketball and softball player. Rachel Stone Smith, who is the current softball coach at Piedmont High School right now, a former Cherokee County and Jacksonville State great, and of course, former Cherokee County and Jacksonville State quarterback, and also the former head football coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, currently the head football coach now at Westbrook Christian High School, Steve Smith. The induction ceremony at the Gadsden State Cherokee Arena, including folks like Joe Carpenter, who had 7 girls state track championships, 727 boys basketball wins, the basketball court at Cedar Bluff named in his honor. Tori Davis Grantham, 4A Player of the Year in Alabama in 2012 and 13, also a Super All-State player and won a national title at UNA. Jason Howard, the school record for football victories at Spring Garden, 129 wins, 12 playoff berths, the field at Spring Garden named in his honor. Rachel Stone Smith, junior college All-American in softball at Gadsden State, also all-conference at JSU, a 3-sport star at Cherokee County High School, and of course, Steve Smith, a former Cherokee County and JSU quarterback, 288 wins at Cherokee County High School, 16 region titles, 5 state championships, and 27 state playoff appearances for Steve Smith. Quite an accomplished class this year going into the Cherokee County Sports Hall of Fame. We caught up with a couple of the inductees, most notably including Steve Smith. Steve Smith talking about what an honor it was for him to go into the Cherokee County Sports Hall of Fame.
I'm just honored to be selected. I mean, I really feel like that there's so many people out there that are deserving, a lot of them probably more deserving. Again, I go back to the people that have influenced me in my life and the people that I've had an opportunity to coach. I mean, as a coach, you're only as good as your team and your assistants, and I've had so many great people, you know, that's helped me out along the way. And in school, I would have considered myself a decent player, but I wasn't anything special. I was one part on a really good machine, and got to play for outstanding coaches and got to play with some outstanding guys. So I'm very honored to be considered, you know, part of this 2024 class in Cherokee County Sports Hall of Fame.
And of course, his wife, Rachel Stone Smith, also going into the Hall of Fame. Very unique to have a husband and wife both going into the Hall of Fame, much less in the same year. Rachel talks about the uniqueness of going into the Hall of Fame in the class of 2024 with her husband, Steve Smith.
That is special, to be going into the same class as Steve. You know, sports has been a central component of our life. It always has been. I think it's probably what, you know, brought us together, you know, because you know, we met through a mutual friend, but, you know, we've often said that if we hadn't have met through a mutual friend, we probably would have ran into each other at a ball field somewhere. And so, you know, for us to end up going into the same class, I admire Steve for his work ethic and all that he's accomplished. accomplished in sports and in coaching. I've got a front row seat to witness all that, and it's just really the person that he is, and how he applies himself to his job and how he goes about his business. There's not another Steve Smith.
Indeed, there is not another Steve Smith. Congratulations to all 5 inductees into the class of 2024 of the Cherokee County Sports Hall of Fame. They induct every 2 years, so they will skip next year, and the next induction is set for June the 6th of 2026 in Center, Alabama. Finally, tonight on this Monday night, we want to give you a heads up on an important event that's happening with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes for young people here in East Alabama, and that is the Power Sports Camp that's coming up. We will have this camp coming up Tuesday through Thursday, June 25th through the 27th at McClellan in Anniston. This is a day camp every day, 8:30 until 3:30, $125 per camper. Lunch is provided all 3 days with that fee. This is for ages 7 through 13. Now, they're going to have coaches and athletes that are going to give you expert skills and sports and training in baseball, basketball, cheerleading, football, mountain biking, swimming, golf, soccer, softball, volleyball, and wrestling. You just pick the sport that you want to have training in, and they will take care of the young people out there in the FCA Power Sports Camp. If you need more information, contact the area director for the Chehaw Valley of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. That is Cole Limbaugh. You see the number on the screen there at the bottom, 256-872-3151. That's 256-872-3151, just about 3 weeks away from the Power Sports Camp out at McClellan. That will do it for sports. Namath will be back tomorrow, and back in just a moment, Mike and Katie to close out EAN Local News.
Thank you for watching us today.
You can find us every weeknight on Facebook and YouTube and on a variety of sites, including our website, the Calhoun Journal and Newsbreak. Go to the platform of your choice and watch our news, sports, and weather coverage whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Tuesday for your news on your schedule.